Hey, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? I am your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar Self, and welcome to the Dollar Hour. Got an awesome show planned tonight. Tonight is a show we're talking about what you should be investing in now. I'm gonna get my personal opinion, what people should be investing in. You got all these different gurus that are actually giving people advice in regards to the stocks you should pick and things like that, the different things you should be doing, Bitcoin, crypto, everything, that sounds pretty cool and exciting, trading and all that stuff. Uh, I have a different philosophy in regard to, we're talking about the everyday person, the working Joe that wants to do something different. That in regards to investing, you got some money you want to put in your 401k, you got a little extra money you want to start putting money into. I want to give you my philosophy and what I think you should be investing in instead of trying to do it, get rich quick, try to get crypto, try to do certain things, flip money and stuff, think you're going to be rich overnight. Okay. But before we get started, again, this is the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden. Before I lose my mind, my thought, I am going to give you guys a quick SBA EIDL update. Should have gave it over a week ago. The SBA came out with some updates. Also had some inside information from different people that I know that work for the SBA in regards to the SBA disaster loan, some of the changes they've made, some of the updates they made. But I give those. We'll discuss that after the show. Quick housekeeping tip before we get started, guys. You know what we're talking about tonight, what you should be investing in. If there's anything outside of what we're talking about in the show, we will visit it at the end of the show. So if anything regarding grants, loans, things like that, we won't discuss it during the night show. We'll talk about it after tonight's show. So we'll go through all the information. After that, I'll open the floor up, ask all the questions you want. You got me. I'll give you all the information from there, okay? Again, this is the Dollar Hour we're talking about tonight, what you should be investing in now. Give you the short dollar method about doing it, okay? Before we get started, I always, at the beginning of the show, I always rehash the previous week. The first thing, we are still in the pandemic. I want you guys to be safe and sound out there, so make sure you're practicing all the stuff you learned in pre-K, washing your hands, keeping social distancing, cover your mouth, don't sneeze, another person. Just the basic stuff you learned in pre-K, but be very, very safe out there. Don't take for granted, even if you've been vaccinated or not, that you can't get sick. So, okay, we want to make sure we're keeping ourselves safe and also all the people that we know safe as well, okay? Want to give a big shout out to one of my producers, Slick 316. She's still down right now. I am part of the Misfits Media, Misfits Radio family. I've been at home base for the past month because Slick been ill and everything, but I just want to tell Ricky, hope she get well soon, love her, miss her, and hope to see you soon and everything. Another shout out to my son, PJ Burden, just dropped him back off at school. Real proud of PJ. He's a cadet down in Georgia military. He's doing well. Big shout out to my ex-in-laws, the Boyer family. I spoke on it last week on Change the Lives. My ex-grandmother-in-law, she passed, Maddie Rice, phenomenal lady. She passed last Monday. And they had a funeral. No, I don't know if it was last Monday. I think it was last Monday. But then they had a funeral this past Monday up in Toledo. So big shout out to that family. I'm no longer with you guys, but I still want to, send some love to you guys because grandma's a very, very important person to me. And I know she's going to be loved and missed dearly because she definitely is for me. I also give a big shout out to my cousin, Nichelle Adams. She's getting married on Saturday. I'm leaving Atlanta tomorrow, going up to, I think that's Raleigh, for the wedding. We're going to have a party, the whole Burden clan. We're going to, set it off. I want to give, early congratulations to her and Jamie. Jamie's solid dude. I like Jamie. They've been together for a while, and, I'm super excited, and very glad to have the opportunity to celebrate their wedding with them and everything. So, leaving out in the morning, heading to Raleigh. Also, the last one leaving, this is the most important thing. Mr. Short Dollar is right down the cusp. We're, I think, 16,800 subscribers. I appreciate everything. Guys, we at Project 17. We definitely want to get to 20,000 subscribers. So please, please, please keep sharing the information about the video. Keep spreading the word about the channel. But again, I want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love and support that you guys are giving us to help us keep growing the channel. I hope we're putting out a lot of great information, a lot of good information that you guys have been taking advantage of and stuff. But again, man, I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given me. Right now, we're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Again, we stream live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We know the main hub is the YouTube channel. Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. The main hub is the YouTube channel. We got over 300 videos on the YouTube channel. We got a grant playlist with over 150 grants that are listed on it. A lot of information in regards to business operations, business funding, business management, all that great stuff. So what I do need you to do, regardless of what platform you're looking at us right now, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. That is the main hub. So you can take advantage of all the information we have there. Okay. We stream live on all platforms, put little tidbits on different items, but definitely go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. That's where all the videos are. Again, quick housekeeping tip. I do want to remind everybody that we are, if you are looking, you have any questions rather about anything with the show. I see looking on the TikTok, people asking about grants and everything like that. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, I think I said hey to everybody, but thanks. I appreciate you guys tuning in. But definitely, if you got any questions outside of what we're talking about tonight, again, we're talking about what you be investing in right now. The short dollar way, the way that I think you guys should be investing, things that you should be doing it if you're a novel investor. Now, again, I'm not trying to have any kind of competition with anybody. Like, hey, I buy this, I buy that. If you're a trader, if you're an investor, cool. This is for the person that have these questions. I get an inbox full of these all the time. Hey D, what should I be investing in? I got an extra $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. What should I be investing in? This is for you guys. If you're already, a license, you buying certain things like that, fantastic. If you want to share ideas, great. But this ain't the time right now. I'm here to get information to help people that are looking into it. You just get a background about me. I'm an accountant by profession. I got an undergrad in finance, got a master in supply chain management, got a big quantitative background. Own my business service firm for the past, this is our 20th year in business. Big shout out. We've been hanging in there, boy, going through some highs and lows. But I do have an in-depth background in regards to finance and investing. But I just want to share my method out because I'm not really big on telling you guys, specifically buy this or buy that, because everybody go into a situation with different constraints. I may have more money. You may have more experience. You may have a lower or high risk tolerance than I have. So I try to give my methodology about investing out to people, and you try to make it applicable to your particular situation, because I don't like doing the cookie cutter. Because some people, like I said, have money, have kids, have debt, no debt. No, if you just take it and apply the principles that I give you guys, I think you'll be okay. All right. But again, this is the dollar hour. Again, we're talking about tonight what you should be investing in right now. What you should be investing in right now. And what really had me thinking about this, excuse me. Yeah, I know it's one of them days. Boy, I was running. I'm sorry, I was running late. I couldn't get my Crown Royal down here and stuff. I tried to yell at my son, Lord, this is a Coke Zero night. Lord, my mouth already feeling funny. I tried to pull my Crown before we get started, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But what had me thinking about what you be investing in now? It's real funny. Just like I've noticed, just like I'm sure everybody else has noticed, you driving down the road, you see, you drive by Popeye's Chicken, McDonald's, and whatever, and they giving out damn signing bonuses. And you're sitting there looking like, what the hell is going on? And it's a shortage of labor nationwide. And I can understand you have different, people have different opinions about what's going on, what's causing this. Some people may say it's because, unemployment. People don't want to work. The opportunities, people don't want to pay enough money, whatever. And, you have a rainbow of excuses from the people that are looking for jobs, the people that are hiring, people who can care less about working. But we do know for a fact there is a shortage of labor, right? And so what I wanted to have this discussion because being in the financial service industry and also being a business owner, I be in, as also being a consumer, you have a different vantage point with a lot of things. And I think that people on the actual ownership side, when I mean ownership, I'm not necessarily saying you own a business. I'm talking about more so employer side, employer perspective on it. Whereas you kind of think about certain things, because I always tell people when you're in business, you see your money change when you start getting arms and legs out there working for you. You're always limited to what you can do because God gave you 2 arms, gave you 2 legs. So you're going to do so much with it. But when you got other arms and legs out there working for you, that's when you see your money change. So when you're not able to have those arms and legs out there working for you, cooking more burgers, frying more chicken, pulling more orders, building more houses and stuff like that, cutting more grasses, that's when we start having problems, right? Because now the opportunities have shrunk. So I just wanted, I was just thinking about that, like how in the hell you got these many people not working? And what happens a lot of times, it doesn't that you have some businesses that initially will have the shop, excuse me, and may have to close down or something like that. But what you really have is you have businesses adjust. Okay, so we say they adjust, what they're gonna do. They're gonna find ways to be able to adapt to it, right? That's just regular, biology, not biology. I forgot. God, I'm an accountant. I'm not a scientist. But when people start, when you become adaptive to certain things, businesses do the same thing. So when one door is closed, another thing has to open up, and businesses begin to adjust. How do they adjust? And and how they adjust is probably the first two things I want to bring up in regards to investing is what a lot of businesses are getting prepared for, and that's being the whole advent of robotics and artificial intelligence. And we're talking about tonight, and the things that you need to be investing in. I got three things that you really need to be investing in and engulfing yourself and find information about. That being artificial intelligence, robotics, and infrastructure. Okay, again, that's artificial intelligence, robotics, and infrastructure. Okay, and I'm going to have just talk briefly in regards to all three, the impact that what's going on in the world now is having, and why you can be on the front end of it. Because unfortunately, people, I'm just speaking. I'm African American, so I can't really speak to anybody else. We're so reactive to so many things, and when we post a lot of these videos in regards to grants, especially, a lot of times people are, I get a rainbow of comments and everything coming out. And I had one guy, he was saying that, especially when I do the grants about for women, definitely for Black business owners, African American grants. Keep in mind, Deonte Burden does issue out one grant. Deonte Burden posts grants to help business owners. These grants are coming from Amazon, Comcast, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, everybody, you name it. They come from all these different companies that are doing it. Already had the grants already allocated in their budgets already. They're doing it. We're just pushing it out. But my point with all that is, people will say things like, this is for, Black people don't want to work, Black people want to beg for money and stuff like that. But the truth is, Black folks are definitely behind the damn curve when it comes to receiving grants. This is just totally new. I mean, you might have a boatload of people running to trying to get grants because the whole thing of this is free money. I don't have to pay the money back. I get that part, but this is damn new shit. As far as Black folks were doing it, Black people have been receiving grants, absolutely. But actually, is this something that we definitely historically have been taking advantage of? Hell no. At the end of the day, when we start looking at grant opportunities and stuff like that, we've definitely been underserved. We've definitely been underused when it comes to applying and even receiving grants. Okay, just applying, period. So when I read the comments, especially when people have a problem with it and stuff like that, this is privilege and all the other bullshit. But that's not the case. Historical Black folks, even with just a little bit that we do the posting and to let people know what's going on, we're definitely behind with that. But my point with all that is, we're being reactionary in regards to what's coming out, right? So what I want to make sure, in one of the premises of Mr. Short Dollar, we want to make sure we promoting people to be, thinkers, be proactive, to be looking for different ways to improve your business, to improve yourself financially and through business and everything. So when we look at the advent, a lot of people not necessarily out here working and just say, hey, I'm screw it, and what's going on. Understand, when you do one thing, another thing adjusts. So when you actually threaten a business and their money is going down because they can't be productive because they don't have people out here to pull the orders, they find a way to combat that, right? So that's when we start going into the whole robotics thing. We start looking at what our business is going to do. So if you sit there, unless you had your head in the sand the past 5 years, we've seen, like in some of the stores, you see the little robots going up and down the aisles, maybe pulling some orders here and there. But I know you guys have seen some of the actual commercials some of the articles. You see some of the robots at the fast food place pulling orders and doing things like that. In regards to making burgers, I'm trying to read some of the comments at the same time. Y'all please bear with me. I got 3 cameras and everything in front of me, so I apologize if I kind of lose my train of thought for a second. But when you see the things with the and the McDonald's and the Burger Kings, they're pulling orders and things. Those are the robotic sectors. And I want you guys to understand that a lot of these corporations are looking to make major capital investments into robotics. They losing people. And I understand this. I kind of remember with my ex-wife working with the airlines, and you look in the early 90s, where you go to an airport, what did you see? You see the whole ticket counter full of people working there. What was that, like late 90s, early 2000s? All those airlines started doing what? Investing in kiosks, right? You see all the kiosks there. What happened? When they had the kiosk set up, you cut the dang staff that you have to have, receiving people at the ticket counter. You got all these kiosks there. Go that type of thing in. Maybe show your phone. Boom, you get your ticket, boarding pass. Go to the ticket counter where it used to be almost 50 people. Now you only got 5 because you got 30 kiosks sitting here working. I mean, those kind of things. Keep in mind, you're talking about one capital investment in a kiosk, right? Kiosks don't have to go to the bathroom. Kiosks don't get pregnant. Kiosks don't have any health issues. Kiosks don't even say a damn thing back to the manager. Wow, no attitude or nothing. You force businesses to make those kind of adjustments. Now, do a business want to sit here and be productive and spending kind of money they don't have to? Not necessarily. But again, those are the things that's going on now. People are making these businesses make these particular adjustments, right? Because they can't get any work. So now you're sitting here saying, we got to start doing this. So now it won't be a situation where businesses are going to be reactive to people doing this, because they're really getting their hands forced. And you start looking at the whole advent of robotics and understanding that robotics are pretty much just machines that are created to do human tasks. They're probably given, from a functionality standpoint, a particular task like frying the burgers, maybe going out serving, handing out stuff, go picking up trays, sweeping and things like that. Those are the things that are created to replace people. What I always tell you guys, technology does one main thing, and that's what? Take jobs, right? That's what it do. Anytime you have any kind of technological advance that make your life more easier, make your life more simpler, there is something going away in relation to that, right? So you have to sit here and think about those particular things that are coming. So again, tonight's show, we're talking about what you should be investing in now, you guys. And what I will be doing, I didn't want to go into depth about picking this stock or buying that stock or anything like that. I just want you guys to be thinking in regards to what happens in the world, because when I look at investing, you can look at just value stocks, your Coke, your Apples, General Electric, Home Depot, things like that. Those are normal, Fortune 500 companies that you can get them. They'll have dividends and things like that. And I really don't get into, and I'm more of a little, safer investor myself. I don't really get into the crypto, the flipping or anything like that. I have small percentages, but it's a small percentage of my portfolio that I do trade in the crypto, and that's mainly because my philosophy is I don't have time to watch it, right? So if I lose it, I lose it. I get it gains, but I'm juggling 5 balls as it is, and that's kind of how I am with an investing. You be realistic of what kind of attention you can put into what you're doing. And so that's why I want to, bring in regards to, you guys being a little bit forward thinking in regards to the changes that the world are going into, how it's impacting you, and what you need to be looking at in regards to, investments. If you want to start doing particular stocks, especially if you're in that age bracket, 20s to mid 40s, because a lot of the changes will be occurring over the next 10 to 20 years in regards to this, right? So we're talking about, capital investment. So, those expenditures that the businesses are having right now, they're building them out now, purchasing them now, implement them over the next 5 to 10 years, and you'll see the kind of residual going out, maybe 10 to 15 years from now. So it's a great thing if you could do it, get into it now. So again, with that whole robotics aspect, we're keeping in mind, we're looking at, those actual machines that will be doing human tasks. So again, do some research in regards to robotics company. Then we slide over, we're talking about the actual artificial intelligence. Now, the biggest difference between artificial intelligence and robotics, because you kind of might be thinking the same thing. Remember, I'm an accountant. I'm not really a scientific guy and everything like that, but I'm very big on learning business, talking about business systems, that whole Six Sigma, black belt, green belt, yellow belt. I get all fascinated with all that kind of stuff, doing things more effective and efficient. Like I said, I got a master's in supply chain. So we start talking about from the AI perspective, the difference between robotics and AI. Robotics more so deals with a functionality, doing tasks, and the robot is doing stuff. AI is more so mimicking humans. Like I say, it's artificial intelligence. So thinking, speaking, processing, things like that. Those are the things when you have software comes in place that actually can reproduce those particular actions by human beings. And what I was thinking about is real funny. One of my sons is a school teacher. This is his first year teaching. He coach high school football. And me, I'm talking the other morning. He riding into work. I was going to my office, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, these people, need to get on top." We were just talking about the whole situation in regards to the jobs and people not going into work. He's like, "Man, people need to get on top of it." And I was just telling him, like, "Hey, son, you need to kind of be thinking about hell, even with your job and everything." He's like, "You don't think you don't think that teachers are safe with losing jobs?" I'm like, "Hell no." And I'm like, I don't think anyone is safe. In my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, especially with, in a pandemic society, what businesses found out very clearly that they can spread the word to a lot more people, working a lot less people. So in my mind, I'm thinking if you got a classroom of 20 with a teacher in there, I can just have all the kids just looking at a damn Zoom. I can double the size of the class, maybe from 20 to 60, put one teacher in a Zoom, and I've cut my staff down by 2/3. It may not sound right. You may not impact the kids properly or whatever, but again, it is what it is. And a teacher that's teaching 60 kids right now could have a rough time. But after some research and training, a teacher teaching 60 kids 5 years from now may be the norm because they've got data, they've learned processes, and learn how to do it more effectively. And my son just talking to me like, "I don't know, Dad. I don't know, Dad." I'm like, "No, son, listen. I seen it. I seen this damn movie before, and it happens all the time." So I even look at myself. Been in tax business over 20 years. You go from the glory years, 15 years ago, rapid refunds, all that kind of stuff. We were making money on top of money on top of money, and your boy was living a good life, and everything cool now. But don't get me wrong, back then, man, you had to do. It was just so easy because you didn't have, a lot of regulatory process. And again, I've been in the game so long because I am one of those pretty much by the book, by the rules type of people. There's nothing exciting. I don't guarantee you a damn thing. Only thing I can guarantee you, we're going to give you proper service, solid work, and you're going to get, I don't even guarantee no prices. I tell you what, I don't finagle with anything like that because, again, I stand behind and I put all my credentials behind everything I do. And that's probably why we've been in business this long. That is the reason why I've been in business this long. But I go back to that time when we could just do everything. Everything was just open to us, all the different options to where now everybody's TurboTaxing, everybody's tax acting, everybody's doing freetax.com and all this other kind of stuff, right? And you have probably had, from hell, probably in the past 10 years, probably had a damn 30% drop in activity because you got a lot more people doing their own taxes. Now you got a lot of people still booking up their taxes. They come back to us getting fixed, and then we got to really charge you then, like any other legitimate preparer. But I say all this to say people have more opportunity to do things for themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with people trying to do their own taxes and stuff like that. Never had a problem. We just don't answer them phone call when you want us to explain to you on the phone how to do it. But definitely people have that opportunity, and that's the advent of just having, through technological advances. Like I just said, technology does one main thing, and that's take jobs. So with people having these opportunities to do things for themselves, you see that trickle down effect over the years. Less jobs will be tied into it and everything. And you have to be, as a business owner, as an individual, potential business owner, potential investor, just somebody living out here, you got to be forward thinking and understanding how one thing affects another. You think this thing here has made it more cheaper for you or made more effective, and but it may have some kind of negative impact. You got to be thinking about it. It may not, but there is some kind of cause and effect with pretty much anything that we have that we deal with. And when you start looking at the whole advent of artificial intelligence, you really need to be investing in companies that deal in AI because that is the wave of the future. People want to be able to, live off their phone, put things in place, operate and move as fast as they can. And the more convenient, the more effective, the more faster that they can get it done, the better, right? And you start looking at, again, we start looking at, this is pretty much software, anything that's doing anything that a human would do. That's problem solving, learning, planning, speech recognition, all that kind of stuff. And you start thinking about just a couple companies we start looking at in regards to common things that you use in regards to artificial intelligence. Siri, hey Siri, cut off my TV. Hey Siri, do this. When you're talking to Siri, and Siri just listen to you, Siri can do everything but scratch your back for now. So at the end of the day, anything that you want, that you can request or anything like that, it's right there for you to command to do it. Cut the lights off, cut the TV on, do all this other kind of stuff. You start looking at Netflix, when you go into your Netflix account, pretty much like any other thing, you put in what show you look at. Somehow, how in the hell do they remember what I looked at yesterday? Now, not only what I looked at, the kind of trends of the same kind of movies. How they know I like horror? How they know I like doing it? How they know I like all them cuddling movies? You know what I'm saying? And so all this stuff is stored in Netflix, right? You start looking at Pandora. You start got your music playing. Hey, you say, hey, I want to play this particular artist. Next thing you know, they go through that database and adjust similar artists and and they do that. These are all process of AI. Even with your basic Facebook and YouTube. Actually, you look up a particular Mr. Short Dollar. When you look up a Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, what happens? You see other different people in the financial sectors, especially like ones that have a bigger platform. I mean, you pull up mine, you'll see those similar ones, similar videos that you see that had that may be talking about grants, that may be talking about finance, that may be talking about employment, and everything pops up. This is AI right there in effect. And again, you're getting information quicker, faster, more effective, and they're learning it and they're storing it. Anytime that you log in, those particular things, the software become adaptive. You need to be on the cusp of looking up and researching and finding those particular companies that they're on the cusp of doing that, right? You need to be looking at that. Again, we're talking about the wave of the future. AI is not something that's new, but AI is something that's growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, right? Because what is really happening, you start looking at that baby boomer generation, they're dying out. I hate using that kind of term of dying out, but again, what they're doing and their resistance to certain things is kind of going away. So everybody's again looking at the things we do as far as online purchases, ticket buying, anything that's done from a internet online transaction. That's becoming more of the norm. So now that resistance movement is actually going away, right? I can definitely see probably in the next 10 years, checks. Ain't gonna be no damn checks. Paper is probably gonna go the hell away. Everything's done online. Everything's online hubs. Everything's stored in the clouds and stuff like that. That whole generation of resistance, I think, will be damn gone. So I think that people need to kind of be looking at those particular companies that are doing the online, the AI, artificial intelligence, cloud-based operations, things like that. Finding those young companies that are getting into that, those startups that are dealing in artificial intelligence, those startups that are starting up with robotics and things like that. I think you should really, really be doing it. I got a lot of friends that are truck drivers. I did drive when I was in the military. I remember when I was in grad school, we talking about in the past 10 years, speaking from Georgia Tech, said the kids that are born today will not drive their cars. And so that's probably about within the past 10 years. I don't think it'll be uncommon. Probably in the next 10 years, people won't have to drive cars. The technology is there. So now you're sitting there looking like, okay, if we talk about whole industries, truck drivers, people that are driving boats. I don't know if it's boat drivers, but I know it's a more technical term for it. But regardless, even just aircrafts and stuff like that. Imagine getting on a flight and you don't have a captain on the boat. The captain is, Siri. I'm just saying, just think about that kind of stuff. And there are companies right now, there are, I don't know if you guys even heard what, like that whole journey with Elon Musk and his brother was, looking to create PayPal and all that kind of stuff. How they were just sitting in a one room apartment over somebody's attic, coding all day long, going to the Y and taking baths. There are kids doing that right now. And they're developing the next AI, sensation, the next Facebook sensation, the next robot that can actually do all kind of stuff that can, just like Rosie from the Jetsons. They building Rosie from the damn Jetsons. The iron cook, do this, that, and that. Even sometimes, Mr. Jackson got tired and she scratched his head and rubbed his back. All that kind of stuff, right? And we won't go too far with Rosie, but I'm just saying that there are people that are developing that right now. And I think the best thing for you to do is be on the cusp of doing research, find about it, artificial intelligence, find about robotics, right? The last thing is infrastructure. We know President Biden signed the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, right? When we start talking about infrastructure, what is infrastructure? We talk about construction, transportation, material, productions. Those kind of companies right now, again, you need to be looking at, your Caterpillars, your John Deere's, Vulcan Materials and things. I don't want to just throw out, like I said, I don't want to get into buying certain stocks and stuff like that. I may start doing it, but I don't like getting that kind of stuff, in regards to what you need to be doing, because again, I like to put the theory and the goals out to people. But again, I always go back to be realistic what you can and can't do as far as looking at these stocks, right? Because everybody want money, right? But everybody want to do the BS that it takes to get money, right? What was one of my mottos? I work 20 hours a day, so I don't have to work 40 hours a week. I'm cool with putting in work like that. I'm cool with doing it. That's how I get down. Everybody knows that. That knows me. If you're not one of those particular type of people and you just like, nah, I like to chill, this, that, and that, maybe the entrepreneur thing ain't for you. Or the level. Maybe check out my video, the 3 levels of entrepreneurship, just where you can understand where you may fall in one of the 3 pillars, what might be best for you. So again, it's kind of like the same thing when we start talking about investing and stuff like that. You hear about all these people that tell you can get in crypto, NFTs and stuff like that. Check out the video I did about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And it's cool, don't get me wrong, but you got to be realistic how you are, how much money you got, how much money you got to lose, your risk tolerance, your investment horizon, where we start talking about how much, where you at right now, where you at towards retirement. Let's be realistic. If you have $10 in the bank now, you want $1 million, and you only have 10 years toward retirement. Do you really have enough time to contribute or money to do that? Let's be real with that. So all those things got to be taken into consideration when we start talking about investing. So we start looking at it just from an infrastructure standpoint. I always remember when I was stationed in Germany in the 90s, how we were just riding bullet trains and stuff like that. And I could never understand why the hell over the years they never try to invest in, growing Amtrak or doing things like that. All these things are coming down the pipe. New roads, all these jobs are going to be created from. So you got companies that are actually in these particular industries. Like I said, your constructions, transportation, materials, cable, fiber optics. Be Googling that information. Be trying to figure out where can I find something with these particular items. Some of it may seem boring or whatever, but these are the particular companies that you might can buy into right now for not that much. And then 10 to 15 years from now, be like, hey, man, I got this on the front end, right? And be realistic. When we start talking about investing, again, I'm not a real big proponent in the fix or flip mentality if you're not a fix or flipper. If you built like that and you have the capability to lose like that, cool. But if you're a regular person out here working, trying to sit here and, make a little more money, try to build your nest egg and stuff like that, you better stay the hell away from that damn crypto. I'm just telling you, because you don't have the time most of the time to actually do that. But if if you got the time to sit in front of a computer screen, look on your phone all day to watch stuff for trading, do it, go at it. But be realistic what you can contribute and most importantly, what you can afford to lose with doing that. So that's why I want to be able to tell you guys in regards to things you be investing in right now: artificial intelligence, robotics, and infrastructure. These are 3 very, very important industries that are going to be having some huge changes and are be impacting the economy a lot within the next 5, definitely 10 years. So definitely be doing your research and information in those particular 3 industries. Okay. I can't stress that to you guys enough. Because again, when we start talking about historically, the African American community, we start, looking at it and investing in things. We got to get out of this reactive mentality. We heard about this thing. This thing's been going on 5 or 10 years. We may have some growth and may have some success from it, but nowhere near the growth of the success as people that actually been in the game for a while. Okay, so I really want to push everyone doing their own homework, doing their own research in regards to the different things that you can help your investment portfolio. But definitely make sure you take some time to do your homework in regards to artificial intelligence, robotics, and infrastructure. All right, now I want to slide to pivot to the second thing I want to talk about tonight. Everybody knows about a week ago, and I apologize. I had some things going on. September 9th, the administrators for the SBA brought up a couple of changes to the EIDL Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, with different updates that they had going into it. Some of it has already been in place, but some things they're more so pushing. One of the major things is you had to increase the cap from the 500,000 to $2 million, right? One of the biggest thing I want to ask you guys, I want to let you guys know this from insider information in regards to the increase. They actually, I think they're going to be, they will not think, this is what I was told, that they're going to be having a whole separate department in regards to dealing with those jumbo loans, right? Typically, what you already, if you have applied for a disaster loan, especially around by this time, there is damn near like a 30, 45 day, 30 or 40 day lag in regards to application or even getting a response. Understand Booyah. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties, but Mr. Dollar always gets everything fixed. Just had to kick the side of the computer. I apologize about that. Let me see if I can get I'm trying to get one of the Instagrams back up. Let me see if I can do that. If they're gonna allow me to do that. Hopefully I can get that back going. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if we're ready to get everything back up. But listen, I apologize about that, and I appreciate that. You guys have been patient with that. The other thing, like I said, what I want people to understand with those bigger jumbo loans, those ones over $500,000, they're going to scrutinize them a whole lot more. So again, be prepared if you are applying for those to be able to turn in more scrutinized information. There being more financial statements, maybe more information they may be asking for in regards to the 2202 or the 4506T, in regards to that. Also, they established a 30-day exclusivity window. With that particular thing, they're giving from when they made the announcement on September 9th, 30 days that they're looking at trying to just really push effectively. Everybody dropping or asking applying for, the increase in the actual disaster loan. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They had already said in regards to the actual repayment period, where you have to go 2 years without making any kind of payments with doing that. So kind of keep that in mind. They expanded the eligibility for the use of funds, so you can actually use them for more particular things and not eligible for prepayment or commercial debt. Okay, that's just kind of something to keep in mind. You can do prepayment of commercial debt that you already have. So, and they're supposed to have simplified affiliate requirements, right? When we start talking about affiliate requirements, those being other businesses that you may have, other loans you may have. Okay, so that's just a quick update from the SBA and the EIDL loan. I will make probably another video, a standalone by itself, to kind of discuss it. But that's just something for you guys to keep in mind with that. With that said, I'm going to open the floor up. So if you have any questions in regards to anything with business funding, the grants, or anything like that, you got me right now. So just, open the floor up. So even if it's anything you may have in regards to that, just, the floor is open now. So I'm looking at between the different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you have any questions, yes, we are back. We're back live. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry about that. We live. Yeah, we live now. I had a little technical difficulties and everything kind of closed up. So let me look in here right now, see if anyone had any actual questions between the different platforms. Man, they don't even got particular comments. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, cool. Does anyone have any questions in regards to, like I said, I got the floor open now. We'll discuss the show. We talked about 3 things you need to be investing in now, that being artificial intelligence, robotics, the infrastructure, those particular companies. Please make sure you do research, and there'll be a lot of great opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. They can put you in a great position in the next 5, 10, 15 years. Okay. Just give you guys a quick idle update. When the SBA came out September 9th with some updates to the loan program, just went over that. So like I said, right now, does anyone have any questions or anything like that you guys may have for me in regards to the grants, grant programs, funding, or anything like that? The floor is open to you guys. Okay. I need a grant. I need a grant to start a trucking company. Ras Hard. If I mispronounced it, please forgive me. One of the things people, I always tell people in regards to grant, always keep in mind, grants are created to solve problems, right? So you may see grant opportunities for a trucking company. You may see grant opportunities to start a salon. You may see a grant opportunity to start a t-shirt company. They are far and few between. Grants are created to solve problems. What I mean by problems, maybe women coming out of a bad relationship, disabled veterans, ending homelessness in certain communities, helping people, that young entrepreneurs, or not even young, just entrepreneurs, get started with limited funds. The onus is on you when you're looking for grants is to find the opportunities and adjust your pitch to be awarded a grant. That's why I want everybody to understand, grants are created to solve problems. Like if Mr. Short Dollar want to create a grant, I may create a grant on, young students coming out of college and, give them a couple of requirements. They may have been, been no longer been out of school, so many years, may put up the GPA, may put up class they need to take, and the different requirements. But always keep in mind that, when you look at it, we got over 150 grants listed on the grants playlist, right? And the grants that we post on Mr. Short Dollar are pretty much simple grants where you just need to apply for them and go from there. Now, like I said, again, you have to craft your pitch to be awarded a grant, right? So with that said, you have to, when you do that particular stuff, you have to make sure that you're making the adjustments in regards to what they're looking for. What is your email? Look for info as well. My email address is info@majesticbiz.com. All the contact information is listed in the description section of every video. Now, if you're looking on TikTok or Instagram, you won't see it, but pretty much you can see all our contact information. If you need anything outside of right now, I will say this to everyone. We got over 300 videos on Mr. Short Dollar, all the great free information. If there's anything outside of that, you need to book an appointment, book a consultant appointment with that. All contact information is there. Is there. But that's why I said we got the videos. I always refer people to look at the videos. If you want to go next level with everything, you probably need to book an appointment with that. But I will tell you again with the grants. Now you go on a place like grants.gov, we got the government grants where you probably need like a grant writer to submit, a certain amount of information. That's different. We typically don't post those kind of grants, but we don't post those kind of grants on Mr. Short Dollar. We post grants that, they still award you the money. I've received some of these grants that have been awarded some of the grants that we post, but the information they're asked for is not nowhere near in depth as you may see some of the grants that are on grants.gov. And most of the time, it's just, like I said, some of these major corporations like your Coke, like your Pepsi, Comcast, they already have allocated so much money in their yearly budget for community reinvestment. And they're saying, hey, listen, we're going to make $100,000 grant opportunity. We're going to split it up between 10 companies and get 10 companies $10,000 to help African American owned businesses, right? And they'll have all the different criteria, year in business, so many employees, having made X amount of dollars or whatever, and they'll list it. It's already in their budget. They've already said they're going to particularly do it. And people have to always understand that when we talk about these grant opportunities, this is free money. So by being free, you don't have to pay it back. It's going to be a lot of people out here looking to take advantage of these particular programs. You just need to make sure that when you are keep in mind with that, and it's just like you're looking for a job. You're just gonna you don't necessarily apply for one job. You apply for several. Apply for 10, maybe 5 respond back, 2 call you for interview, and you get 1 job. But you just got to keep putting them out there and everything. So we get people asking us all the time, what are the chances of me getting awarded this grant? And I can just simply tell you that you got a 50-50 chance, maybe or maybe not, that you will get the grant, but you got a 100% chance of not getting a grant if you don't apply. If it comes simply just putting down your business name, your website, things like that, I don't see what you're losing. The thing what people have to understand is that most of the time with these grants, you do need to have a legitimate business. When I say legitimate business, be incorporated, tax ID, have a business bank account, because again, they're not going to cut the check to Deonte. They're going to cut the check to Deonte Incorporated. And you need to make sure you're somewhat legitimate. You can't, when we start talking about skin in the game, because I get reached all the time where, hey, I'm looking to get started, but I don't have any money. Get your money together first. Get your money together first. Get your living, get that straight first, and then you can focus on the business. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm just being honest with you. You need to make sure that you're in a position to actually run a business. You can't expect people to just give you money and you don't have any damn skin in the game, right? You got to have some kind of skin in the game. You got to have some kind of sacrifices. Your dream is just that, your dream. And for people to understand and back your dream, you got to be able to put something behind it. I got the video. Check out the video, how to get investors to loan you money. And I talk about it in depth. And again, we have over 300 videos of Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. And I'll be very, very honest with people. When you give an investor or a banker this spreadsheet with all these numbers, if I sell X amount of these with so many of these customers, I'm gonna get this kind of money. They see that shit every day. They see that every day in regards to all. You're not gonna submit a losing business plan or financial projections that are going to, that aren't going to, have a successful ending to any banker or any investor. They see it. The most important thing that an investor got to know, they got to sit and feel you that you're going to be able to make their money back and bring them back some more money. They got to feel that in you, that being your confidence, that being you knowing your numbers and you knowing your information, knowing everything inside out. And that's what that energy, that's what make people give you money. Not you sitting there with both palms up. It don't work like that, right? You can apply for a gazillion grants out there, but if you just want to get you some change, some real money, we're talking about over $100,000. Now you're talking to a person, not no PPP, not no EIDL, that have secured several 6-figure loans for business loans, several. I can sit here and tell you, the main thing is you. This is what gets you the money. You knowing your stuff inside out. You knowing your industry inside out. You knowing your product inside out. You can sit here and calculate those numbers and saying it. And the only way you're going to be able to do that, you got to put skin in the game, sacrifice time, sacrifice some of your own money to sit here and just know everything, right? But you just ask it, look, I want to start this business up. Can you give me some money? Hell no, that is not going to work. Make some sacrifices, make some times to invest in knowing your product. I'm not saying you got to leverage out your house or anything like that, but just make some kind of commitment to know what you're asking for, who you're asking for, the money from, and what they need to see. Like I was just telling the guy the other day, to call when you're actually looking at business bankers, what Bank of America wants to see, Chase, Wells, they all have different criteria. They, one may be looking more at how much collateral you got, how much experience you got, what kind of industry you got. Know it inside out in regards to what these people want to know. Know it, and that's just gonna take some time doing some research. If you ain't had your business for the past year and a half, 2 or 3 months while you trying to do some damn research, is not gonna kill you, right? Because when you do it, you want to do what? Do it right, right? We want to keep starting over, right? All right. I hope that helps you. Let me go to the next question. Kaylin Johnson, can you explain the background on Deonte Incorporated? Oh, there is no Deonte Incorporated. I was just using that for example. I am so sorry about that. I was just using that for example in regards to you need to have a legitimate business in regards to applying, these grants or these programs. I apologize for any kind of confusion. There is no Deonte Incorporated, but it's just more so when you're applying for these grants, you're applying for these different things. They want to give the grants to people, to a business. I'm sorry, not the necessarily the people. So keep that in mind, because it's the same thing with people. A lot of people found out with the PPP loans and stuff when they were applying, and the checks were getting cut. People applying for a business, but they didn't have a damn business incorporated, have a business bank account, so they didn't even get their money because you had to be a legitimate business. And a lot of people unfortunately getting phone calls right now from the feds. But make sure that you got a legitimate business started, right? Just please make sure that you got a legitimate business started. I'm going to get to your next question because it's just funny. Someone asked me that you need to have a business started, and I tell you, look, you may have some exceptions, but for the most part, you need to have some kind of business structure set up. And I had somebody leave a comment, you don't need the business. They said they had got $10,000 and $30,000 grant opportunities before. And I specifically asked, that's cool. I don't know everything. I'm not saying that my way is the only way to cross the finish line. I can only speak on what 20 years of experience has taught me, right? But I asked $1 million question. If you have received those grants opportunity, you got $10,000 to $30,000, hell listed. It's hard for me to believe that you got that kind of money from any business or government entity that somebody would just give that kind of damn money away and have no recourse to know they gave it to a legitimate person. Especially, she was like, the lady said there was a local government. There's no way in the hell I can see a local government giving out. They haven't done any kind of due diligence to make sure you're a legitimate company. So I'm just saying the best way to go about it, get your structure together first. Can I use the same method to start my own brand? Let me see if I get the second part of the question. Or better question, what method should I start my own personal brand? Like how people say I am the business. One of the best things I think is, and that's a great question. When you start doing your own brand, just like with the Mr. Short Dollar, me being Deonte Burden, I'm a financial speaker as well. And the speaking industry took a real big crunch in regards to COVID because you couldn't be in front of people. You had to just make some adjustments from the virtual side of it. But being your personal brand, you got to really get out there and hit the concrete. That and lucky for you, we're in a social media age. Post, and be you. Don't try to be Jada Pinkett. Don't try to be Deonte Burden. Be you. And when you're you, that's the thing that helps you grow next level. A lot of you guys that follow me know that I'm part of the I'm about to forget the name of the organization. The Black, I'm about to forget. God, Lawrence, I'm gonna kill me. Black, I'm about to say the Black Speakers Network, but that's not the new name for the company. But my brother Lawrence Watkins, he started Black Speakers Empire. Black Speakers Empire. God, okay. But one of the biggest things, a mastermind group. Great. If you guys familiar with Dr. Boyce Watkins, I've been a part of the Black Speakers Empire for the past 3 years. And one of the key things we learned was, be you. Because I know when I first started up, again, I think I'm a smart guy, think I'm a handsome guy, think I, have a lot of experience. I'm looking like, okay, that's Steve Harvey doing this way. Let me try to do this, that, and that. And that was me. And one of the biggest things I got grabbed, ADBD, people like me. And so when you start talking about growing your brand and everything, Kaylin, is that make sure that you being genuinely you, understand what you're trying to do, and just grow it from there. People are going to gravitate to you being you. And also a key thing is make sure you're solving a problem or helping people. and that's what's going to help you. But you got to hit the concrete. You got to make some sacrifice. You got to make, and I think that's the thing that's hurting a lot of people when they get in business. Everybody want the money, but again, they don't want to do the BS that comes along with making money, and that's missing sleep, missing times you got to do this, missing time with family, being tired, and all this other kind of stuff. That's the stuff that people don't want to do when it comes, just being in business and making money. You have to get that together. So I hope that answers your question. But in regards to your personal brand, okay, cool. I'm glad I was able to help you. You just got to be you and do a very, very a good job of just pushing it out there and be patient. This third year, Mr. Short Dollar has been open. I got another channel, Change the Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. We talk about professional development, personal development, marriage, parenting, all that. But we hit a spike, and that's typically when you see a lot of YouTubers that are outside of being a celebrity, or if you're doing, want to talk bad about anybody, you're doing gossiping or anything like that. When we start talking about the channel growth, you're looking at a year and a half to 2.5 years where a channel has to spike, where you're doing consistent videos dropping, you're putting out good content and stuff like that. You're not going to necessarily have a spike in the growth of your channel or a spike in the money you're making until maybe, I said definitely that 2 year mark, right? That's typically how that goes. So how many people are actually going to be doing something for 2 years and ain't really making no money? So that you kind of put that in perspective when we start talking about building our own brand, having a business going. So kind of keep that in mind, okay? So especially when you're looking at, with businesses, guys, I just want you guys to understand, we start dealing with the forecasting and projecting and everything like that. Make sure you understand, because even we getting these $2, $5, $10, $50,000 grants, understand, make sure you either hooked up with a professional or you got somebody on your team that understands projections, that understands financing, that understands that whole math side of it, and not so stuck on the chicken tastes good, or we got a good little spot, or I got a nice product. You need to make sure you got some kind of numbers person that you don't get away from the essence of what you're doing, but they at least can be realistic with you in regards to what you're doing and what needs to be done, and from that perspective. Okay. So listen, guys, I don't see any more questions coming in. We had a great show, man. I appreciate everybody tuned in and stuff like that. And if you got any more questions, please feel free. I want to close it up. You got anything? Cool. Anybody else got any questions? Let me see. Again, guys, keep in mind all the contact information, all the business websites, social media platforms, the links to book an appointment and everything, that is in the description section of the video. So you can go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You're looking on Facebook, where you should be able to see that. But all that contact information is there. So make sure you go there and you check everything out. Also, before I leave, I know something on my mind. With that, make sure, again, we had right at 16.8. We want to get 17,000 subscribers before. That was my goal for the end of this month. Hey, hopefully we'll be knocking at 18 by the end of the month. We just said that at a halfway mark. But I do want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys, and I appreciate all the support that you guys have given us to make us be able to grow the channel. And we hope we're putting out a lot of good information for you guys to take advantage of. Got some more great information coming down the pipe. I got a whole course coming out, how to start your own tax business. I will be hiring tax preparers within the next month. We do our own training with everything, but I got the course coming out in regards to how to start your own tax business, where I give you pretty much, not necessarily, I'm not teaching people how to actually fill out a 1040 form, but giving you guys a system in regards to, the actual marketing your tax business, bringing people in, operation structure, give you the Short Dollar way of doing it, have me in the game for the past 20 years. And I'll be able to share that with you guys. You guys also, I got the course coming out, how to start your own barbershop beauty salon. The 15-year salon owner, don't know anything about hair, but I was able to stay in the business for 15 years. With 17 years, I closed the salon back in the spring of this year. Just got kind of tired of it. But there were tons of salons over that time frame that opened up around that area, knew a lot more about hair than I did, but they couldn't close because, again, they don't know the Short Dollar way of running businesses. Gifted stylists and barbers, but they didn't understand business. So again, that course is coming down the pipe soon. So listen, just stay engaged with everything. If you got any suggestions, whatever, like some contact information is there. Leave comments on the videos. You guys got an email address, reach out to me. I look forward to hearing anything from you guys. But again, thanks for all the love and support. Take care, guys. Be safe out there. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon again. Take care.